is an amazingly sweet and gentle soul. She was always thoughtful. She always kissed me goodnight and kissed me good morning.
A new video of Vanessa Bryant is making waves, and people can't stop talking about it. There's something about this footage, something no one saw coming. It's got fans shocked, confused, and searching for answers. The internet is buzzing, trying to piece everything together. What's in this clip that has everyone so stunned? The reactions are real, and the emotions are raw. Every second of this footage is fueling more questions, and the truth behind it is something no one expected. Where did the video come from? This video didn't just appear out of nowhere. It first started spreading on social media, especially on platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. At first, only a few people were talking about it, but within hours, it was everywhere. Some news outlets even picked it up, making it an even bigger deal. People started resharing the clip, adding their own thoughts, and before long, it became one of the most talked about topics online. It's not often that we see Vanessa Bryant in the spotlight like this, so naturally, fans were curious. But what exactly is in the footage? What's happening in this video that has everyone so emotional? What's happening in the footage? In this video, Vanessa Bryant is seen in a way that most people haven't seen her before. She is either attending a special event, giving a heartfelt speech, or caught in a rare, candid moment with her family. The atmosphere in the video is powerful, and you can immediately feel the weight of the moment. Maybe she is talking about Kobe. Maybe she is sharing something deeply personal. Or maybe she is just being herself, away from the media, away from the cameras, just a mother, a woman, a human being. In one part of the video, her face tells 1,000 stories. Is she smiling? Is she holding back tears? Is she showing strength like she always does? These are the things that make this footage so powerful. It's raw, it's real, and it hits differently. There's a moment in the clip where Vanessa does something that makes everyone watching pause for a second. Maybe she holds on to something that belonged to Kobe. Maybe she closes her eyes for a moment, as if remembering something. Maybe she shares a story we've never heard before. Whatever it is, it's enough to make fans emotional. Why is this video so shocking? Now, the big question. Why is this video leaving people in shock? What makes it different from all the other times we've seen Vanessa in public? For one, Vanessa has always been private. She only steps into the spotlight when it's truly necessary. Since Kobe's passing, she's been very careful about what she shares with the world. So, when a video like this suddenly appears, it naturally catches everyone's attention. People are used to seeing Vanessa as strong, composed, and private. But in this footage, there's something different. Maybe she shows more emotion than usual. Maybe she says something that people weren't expecting to hear. Or maybe, just maybe, this video shows a side of her that we've never seen before. Another reason why this video is shocking is that it goes against what many fans assumed. People often wonder how Vanessa is really doing. She doesn't share much about her personal life, so fans are left to guess. Some people think she's staying strong for her daughters. Others believe she's still grieving in silence. But this video, it might change all of that. Is she finally opening up more? Is she trying to send a message? Or is this just a rare moment that happened to be captured on camera? Did Vanessa reveal something unexpected? One of the biggest reasons this video is going viral is because it might reveal something nobody saw coming. Maybe it's something she said. Maybe it's something in her expression. Or maybe it's just the fact that she allowed this moment to be seen by the world. If she's speaking in the video, her words might hold a deeper meaning. Did she talk about Kobe in a way she never has before? Did she say something about her future that took fans by surprise? And if she's not speaking, sometimes actions speak louder than words. Did she react emotionally to something? Did she look at something in a way that told a whole story without saying a single word? Fans are analyzing every little detail. They're watching the video over and over, trying to understand what it really means. And honestly, that's what makes this footage so powerful. It's not just a video, it's a moment that's making people feel something. Does this video change what fans thought about Vanessa? Before this video, fans had their own ideas about how Vanessa was doing. Some thought she was staying strong and moving forward. Others believed she was still struggling but choosing to grieve in private. But now, this video might change everything. Maybe fans were right. Maybe they were wrong. Either way, this footage is making people see Vanessa in a new way. If she looks happy in the video, people might feel relieved. If she looks emotional, people might feel heartbroken for her. If she shares something deep, people might feel more connected to her than ever before. It's rare for Vanessa to be seen like this. That's why people can't stop talking about it. That's why it's going viral. And that's why this footage is leaving fans shocked. But the real question is, what does this video mean for Vanessa's future? Is this just a moment, or is it the start of something new? That's the part nobody knows yet. And that's why people will keep watching, keep talking, and keep wondering what's next. Does this signal a new chapter for her? Vanessa Bryant has been through so much over the past few years. Losing Kobe and Gigi changed her life forever. And since then, she has mostly stayed private, only coming out for important moments. But now, with this new footage going viral, people are wondering, does this mean something new for her? Is she slowly stepping back into the public eye? For a long time, Vanessa only spoke out when it had something to do with Kobe's legacy, their daughters, or important legal battles. She wasn't someone who posted about her daily life or made random public appearances. Everything she did had meaning behind it. But now, seeing her in this new footage, some fans think this could be a sign that she is ready to take a step forward. But the big question is, what does moving forward look like for Vanessa? Some people think she might start attending more events, maybe even sharing more about her life. Others feel like she's just having a moment, and that it doesn't necessarily mean anything big is coming. But one thing is clear. People are paying attention, and they want to know what's next for her. What's next for her and the Bryant family? Vanessa isn't just Kobe's widow. She's also a mom. And more than anything, she is focused on making sure her daughters have a good life despite their loss. Her oldest daughter, Natalia, has been stepping into the public eye more. She's modeling, going to college, and making a name for herself. Fans are wondering if Vanessa will continue to support Natalia's career in a bigger way. Maybe she'll help her with business deals, or maybe she'll start showing more of their mother-daughter moments online. Then there's Capri and Bianca, her younger daughters. They are still growing up, and Vanessa has always been protective of their privacy. But as they get older, will she start sharing more about them? Maybe we'll see them getting involved in Kobe's legacy work. Or maybe Vanessa will create something specifically for them, like a children's book about Kobe and Gigi's love for basketball. One thing is certain. Vanessa's #1 priority is her daughters. No matter what she does next, it will always be centered around them. Speculation and theories. This new footage has people wondering, does it mean something bigger? Or is it just a small moment that people are reading too much into? Some fans believe it could be part of a documentary. There have been rumors for a while now that Vanessa might be working on a film or a series about Kobe and Gigi. Could this be a sneak peek of that? Maybe she was caught on camera at a filming location, or maybe she's finally ready to share more personal footage with the world. Others think she could be writing a book. Vanessa hasn't spoken much about her grief in public, but if she were to write a book, it would be one of the most powerful and emotional stories ever told. Maybe this footage is connected to that. Another theory is that this could be a public statement in itself. Maybe Vanessa knew this moment would go viral. Maybe she wanted people to see her, to remind everyone that she's still here, still strong, still carrying Kobe's legacy forward. Or maybe, just maybe, this is nothing more than a rare moment of her simply living her life. Maybe there's no big plan, no secret project, just a woman stepping outside, smiling, and being caught on camera. And if that's the case, it's a beautiful reminder that Vanessa isn't just Kobe's widow or a public figure. She's a human being, healing in her own time, in her own way. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you believe this is a sign that Vanessa is ready to be more public? Or do you think people are reading too much into it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this story and other trending topics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Did the USA basketball make the right move?
I think they whiffed here. I completely believe they lost a golden opportunity.
Everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town.
Would Caitlin step in if a player is too injured to play?
But if there is a player on that roster that's too injured to play and they call you, what would your reaction be?
Yeah, I think it would be a great opportunity. A lot of ifs, so my main focus is on the Fever.
If they bring Caitlin into the team, they're going to dominate the scoreboard.
You put Caitlin Clark, you put Angel Reese, and you put Cameron Brink.
Yep.
Bare minimum, you put those three. All three of them are superstars. You put three of them on the team, and when you're beating a team by 50, which you eventually will be beating a team by 50, you let them go in there and ball out.
Yeah.
Like, this is a no-brainer to grow. There are girls on this team that are 41 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many Olympics have that 41-year-old?
I think 5 or 6.
Get off the team.
Yeah.
Get off the team.
And she was the one when they were doing she's the one hating on Caitlin. They were doing like a simulcast of one of the Final Four games.
Man, shut your ass up.
She's not going to be that good in the pros. These are grown women she's going against. It's not going to be
Get off the team, yo.
Stop hating you old piss over. Go home.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why the tickets are sold out.
And I don't know that I quite understand the question, in that everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town. Angel Reese has impacted their attendance at the Chicago games, I suspect on the road as well. So what the league can do is be ready to capitalize on the moments.
USA basketball missed out on a golden opportunity.
Did the USA basketball make the right move?
I think they whiffed here. I completely believe they lost a golden opportunity. You could have got one of those 12 spots. Now look, every woman on that team is deserving. And there are also other women out there who didn't get picked who are deserving.
Caitlin Clark deserves to be part of the USA basketball team.
And I think Caitlin Clark is one of them. If you're going to go with the meritocracy argument, we could chalk up a ton of stuff. But the undeniable thing about Caitlin Clark is how popular she is, how many eyeballs she has brought to the sport. People are discovering women's basketball for the first time, for many, many people, because of Caitlin Clark. She would have been a boon for this Olympic team. Look, this is a sport. It is a game. Brian, it's also a business. You know that better than anybody. It is a business. This would have meant so much for the ratings of the women's Olympic basketball stuff, all of it.
So a couple of things, Michelle. If you're USA basketball and you feel pressure because the women are the best in the world, just like the men. I think they won 9 gold medals already. They've only lost 3 games ever. And you don't want to be that coach to get knocked out early, and maybe because you put somebody on there that isn't the top 12 in the world. So far, she's averaged 16 points a game as a pro, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, making 37% of her shots. Solid start, but remember, and you live this, but I was covering it too, UConn basketball, the best player in college basketball, Rebecca Lobo. She was never a dominant in the WNBA. Sometimes you reach your peak in college. She hasn't shown that she's among the best pros yet.
Are you saying her performance the other night with 30 points and 7 threes to tie a rookie record does not show that she's a promising pro? I don't buy it. I just don't. And again, you can sit her on the pine. You can have her the 12th person on your roster. People will still tune in to see if she gets on that floor, to see if she gets to play. These women on the U.S. team are so dominant that you can win with almost any 12 that they decided to pick. So if you want the eyeballs that you say that you want, that you've been asking for decades, if you want the support, you want the boost to this game that you say that you want, then you put the most popular, but not only because she's the most popular, Brian, she's one of the best players on the planet. You do not lose anything by putting her on this roster.
All right, I will say this. People have brought up this analogy. Christian Laettner was put on the dream team, even though he was the best player in college basketball. Shaq was left off of it. Alonzo Mourning was left off. They put Laettner on to develop him. They wanted to have a developing player to play with Jordan and Bird and Magic. A lot of people criticize that. That's what this would have been. Final thought?
Well, maybe it would have been that. I would contend that, men's basketball was already popular. You didn't need Christian Laettner. Women's game needs this woman.
There are reasons why Caitlin Clark is not able to join the USA team.
Why do you think she's been left off the team?
I'm working on that story, Don. I did report in my piece that's on usatoday.com out there, of course, now, that I have two sources, impeccable sources, who said that they had heard from various people that a concern was that if Caitlin was put on the team but only got a few minutes of playing time, which would be logical for a rookie on a great team that last lost in 1992, best, most dominant team in sports, what U.S. women's basketball team hasn't lost since 92. If she only got a little playing time, that all of her fans would be upset and would be, I guess, just storming the gates and on radio shows and on social media. I couldn't believe my ears that was a discussion topic in the meetings about the reaction to Caitlin Clark. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to get that pinned down, but those two sources are impeccable. And I'm trying to figure out what was going on. And is it a situation where we heard chilly comments, Dawn, from, as we talked about, Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart at the women's Final Four? I asked Diana Taurasi's agent point blank, can you point me to anything positive she's ever said about Caitlin Clark? Never heard back, gave the agent a week to reply. And both of those women are on the team. I'm not saying that anyone in particular is doing this, but as a journalist, it is my job to try to figure out what happened. This is a huge decision. It will continue to reverberate all the way to Paris. And as a journalist, as I said, I want to see what's going on. And could it be that jealousy, rancor, anger towards Caitlin Clark and all the money she's made, and obviously a white woman in a sport that is dominated by black women? Who knows? Something potentially is going on, and I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it.
So there is a range of opinions on this, and I suppose the beauty of this story is that everybody does have an opinion. So I'd like to read you a few thoughts from Jamel Hill. She's a contributing writer for The Atlantic. She said, quote, "People need to stop panicking and putting so much weight on every single decision. The WNBA is going to have Caitlin Clark for a long time. The league isn't going to fall off a cliff if she's not on the team. And every single decision can't be about placating the optics of a round one player." She went on, "Honestly, Caitlin Clark not being on this year's Olympics team is a good thing for her. In the span of a few weeks, she went from playing college ball to becoming a professional to having a grind of a schedule. A multi-week break probably isn't the worst thing in the world. She will eventually make an Olympic team." Christine, what do you think of that perspective?
USA Basketball had the option to select her for the team.
Jamel is a good friend, and I really respect her, and we've known each other for years. Obviously, the decision to take time off or not, which Caitlin will now have because she has that 4-week break, 3-4-week break, that's her decision to make. That's not USA Basketball's. USA Basketball could have put her on the team, and she said, "No, I'm tired." It would never have happened, Don, but that's her call. So that's not what USA Basketball was deciding, obviously. And the bigger question and issue, I've covered the Olympics since 1984, and Jamel's been to one or two, but we know the power and the platform of the Olympic Games is unlike anything else in the world. Why did the NHL stop playing for all these various Olympics? Literally shut down its season to have all of its pros at the Winter Olympics. Why is the WNBA completely shuttering, so that its 12 players can go and play in the Olympics? It's because of the forum and the opportunity to grow.
It's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids. I think it's, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better.
The WNBA game is always intense and physical, like a non-stop showdown of strength and strategy.
The WNBA game has always been physical, has always been violent. Everybody is getting fouled hard, not just Caitlin Clark, but everybody is getting fouled.
Caitlin's stepping up big time, poised to lead our squad to new heights.
Hey, Caitlin, we're watching you evolve. We're watching your game evolve a little bit, and we're seeing you become more of a vocal leader to the team.
Clark's aggressive gameplay lead to potential disciplinary action.
The question of whether Caitlin Clark faces suspension due to flagrant fouls looms large in discussions surrounding her performance. As a prominent player in her sport, Clark's aggressive style of play has occasionally led to incidents that raise concerns about potential disciplinary actions.
Caitlin's string of flagrant fouls has stirred up some serious talk about her future on the court.
Her recent accumulation of flagrant fouls has heightened speculation about her future on the court.
To foul. We have a technical foul on the play. Okay, Minnesota will shoot one shot, and the play will resume from the point of interruption.
You hear the announcement here.
Fans and analysts alike are closely monitoring how league officials will address these infractions, as any suspension could have significant implications for both Clark and her team's upcoming games.
Here's how Caitlin got a technical foul.
Called a transition take foul. They will, and now Clark gets a T in addition. And
yeah, okay. Certainly deserved the technical.
I'd say warrant.
When Clark got in the face of Seattle Storm guard Victoria Vivians, and the two were hit with double technical fouls, it was Clark's third technical foul in the first 9 games of her WNBA career. WNBA rules stipulate that players get suspended for a game when they receive their 7th technical foul of the season, and an additional game for every other technical after that. They also receive an $800 fine.
On the play.
Yeah, it seemed like a really pivotal point in the game in the third quarter with the Dolson challenge. Seemed like you were talking to the refs for a long time. Seemed like you disagreed with it. What were you saying to them?
I mean, I don't know. I guess they saw something differently. Obviously, AB, like it's tough when AB's in foul trouble for us. That stinks for her. Just couldn't really get her into a flow and get her on the floor much, just because she played 20 minutes just because of her foul trouble. But I thought when she was in there, she was obviously pretty effective, 3 for 4. But I think they went on a 10-0 run after that call was reversed, and it would have been an and one. So I think that just kind of shows our maturity. We have to find a way to be able to move on from that. Yeah, we didn't get the call, but we need to stop right now, because I think at that point it was a 10 or 12 point game. We weren't out of it by any means, and then we let it balloon to a 20 plus game. So I think it's, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better. But I think there was a few moments in the game where it was we just couldn't get it to go our way.
The reaction from folks is getting pretty toxic over it.
I think the conversation overall about Caitlin Clark and the reaction that we're seeing from a lot of people has become a bit toxic, because I think this incident is getting mushed in with how people have been playing defense on Caitlin Clark, how physical they've been on Caitlin Clark, some of the comments from some of the greats in the WNBA before Caitlin Clark got in. It's all kind of getting put into this pot of Caitlin Clark hate. And I think it's more nuanced than that. I think there are a lot of things that's happening with Caitlin Clark in the start of her career that are very normal to a lot of sports. You often see players who are in the league or players who have played before or greats have opinions about new rising stars in the league. That is not uncommon. That's not exclusive to women's sports. It's not exclusive to men's basketball. We can pull so many examples of that. You often see rookies get played very tough, get a little message shown to them, especially if they're coming into the league with a lot of hype. That also is not new. I think what is very specifically unique about this situation is we are seeing a transcendent crossover superstar come into the league and have a huge amount of buzz, of polarization, of excitement. It is translating in numbers. It is translating in ticket sales. It is translating in conversation. And overall, I think that's a good thing. I don't think that what Kennedy did is a reflection of how the entirety of the league feels. I don't think it's a reflection of how all female athletes feel. And I don't think it's a reflection of how the media feels.
I mean, there's some hate going on, right? And we all can see it. I think what Joey just talked about is important, because not everything is hate, right? I feel like sometimes if somebody does something to a player, right, that's being hated on, you just throw that right in there with it. And that's not the case. They are pushing her a certain way. Like, I don't mind guarding a rookie, you know, from inbound to inbound because she is that good. She deserves that type of attention. But my thing is, like, when you look at this play from Kennedy, though, right, like, there's no basketball part of that. And the game doesn't need that in any sport. If it's basketball, women or men, there's no, you call out her name and then what is that, right? And let me help you people out for a second. Kennedy Carter is her name. I know a lot of you guys don't know who that is. She actually got drafted 4th overall, right? 2020. She's been on 3 teams so far. So a player like that's not known, that's trying to get her name out there, they do stuff like that. In the NBA, they have that. They have Dylan Brooks. Yeah. They got guys like that. So I understand it, but my problem is when you talk about hate, that's hate. There's no basketball part of that in the game.
You may call it hate. What I will call it is envy. What we are seeing with Caitlin Clark is envy, and let me define it for so many of y'all because they're human. I'm not surprised that we're seeing envy, but envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. With Caitlin Clark, it's not at all luck. But what we're seeing, and not generalizing, not by every WNBA player, but by some, I believe Kennedy Carter in that specific incident, is envy. Because post-game, when you go to the presser and you don't want to answer questions about Caitlin Clark, why? You answer questions about other individuals, but you don't want to answer questions about Caitlin Clark. I believe what we are seeing is envy.
It's a tough situation in WNBA, where every game's a battle of grit and hustle.
Now, it's a tough situation because the WNBA game has always been physical, has always been violent. Everybody is getting fouled hard, not just Caitlin Clark, but everybody is getting fouled. It's a very, very physical game. So I really don't know what you can do as a commissioner without really changing the game for Caitlin Clark. I don't know what you can do. But with this whole situation and watching what unfolded in this situation with Kennedy, a couple things stood out to me. Number one, I did not like Angel Reese standing up and clapping on the sideline because it kind of lets me know that this is something that has been talked about, that is on our minds. Like, we are going to send this girl a message.
A-list fame, red carpet glam, and jaw-dropping talent. Celebrities seem almost unreal. But beneath the spotlight, some carry hidden physical quirks that set them apart in ways most never notice. From extra fingers to missing bones, these stars prove that perfection isn't a requirement for success. Some of these conditions are subtle, others nearly unbelievable. Here are 15 celebrities with rare and unexpected body deformities that might just change the way you see them forever. Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is one of the greatest actors of all time, but did you know he has a permanently bent pinky finger? It's not something you would notice right away, but once you do, it's hard to unsee. His pinky finger is stuck at a 45-degree angle, and the reason for this is actually a childhood injury. When Denzel was younger, he loved playing basketball, but one day during a game, he badly broke his pinky finger. Instead of healing properly, the bone just stayed that way. He never got it fixed, and now, it's just a part of him. He has even joked about it in interviews, sometimes showing it off and making people laugh. Even with this little quirk, it has never affected his career. In fact, most people never even notice it until someone points it out. But now that you know, you might catch it the next time you watch one of his movies. Megan Fox. Megan Fox is known for her stunning looks, but there's something about her hands that people find unusual: her thumbs. If you take a close look, you'll see that her thumbs are shorter and wider than normal. This is due to a condition called brachydactyly type D, which means her thumb bones didn't grow to full length. Even though it's just a small difference, Megan doesn't like showing her thumbs in close-up shots. In some movies and photo shoots, you'll notice that she cleverly hides them. But honestly, do thumbs even matter when you look like Megan Fox? Most fans agree that it's just a tiny detail in the big picture. Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher is a funny guy, and he's never been shy about making fun of himself. That's why when people found out he has webbed toes, he didn't try to hide it. He actually showed them off on TV. Yes, Ashton's toes are partially connected because of a condition called syndactyly. It's not a big deal, and it doesn't affect his walking or movement. He once pulled off his sock in an interview and said, "I have webbed feet like a duck." Instead of being embarrassed, he just laughed about it. which made fans love him even more. This just proves that confidence makes anything cool, even webbed toes. Harry Styles. Harry Styles has millions of fans who adore him. But did you know he has 4 nipples? Yes, that's right, 4. This is because of a harmless condition called polythelia, where extra nipples form along the body's milk lines. It's actually more common than people think, but most people don't even realize they have it. Instead of being shy about it, Harry has fully embraced his extra nipples. He's mentioned them in interviews, joked about them, and even lifted his shirt to show them off a few times. Fans don't find it weird at all. They actually think it's just another reason to love him. Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry, best known as Chandler from Friends, has a little detail that many fans never noticed. He's missing the tip of his middle finger. When Matthew was a kid, he got his finger caught in a door, and unfortunately, part of it was cut off. It's not something that affected his career, and since he rarely talks about it, many people don't even know. Next time you rewatch Friends, keep an eye out. You just might spot it. Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn is known for his fast-talking, funny characters, but did you know he lost the tip of his right thumb? When he was a teenager, he got into a car accident, and the injury left his thumb permanently shortened. It doesn't affect his acting, and most fans never even notice it. But if you ever shake hands with him, you might feel the difference. Karolina Kurkova. Karolina Kurkova is a famous supermodel. But if you look at her pictures, you might notice something missing: her belly button. She was born with a medical condition that required surgery as a baby, and as a result, her belly button never fully formed. Instead, she has a small, smooth indentation where it should be. In magazine photos, photographers sometimes edit her belly button back in, but in real life, it's just not there. Even without a belly button, she's still one of the most beautiful models in the world. Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton has always had an unusual and striking appearance, and some people believe it's because she has an extra rib. This is a rare condition, and while Tilda has never confirmed it, fans have noticed that her torso looks slightly different from most people's. It doesn't cause any health problems, and if anything, it just adds to her unique beauty. Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler is known for playing tough guys in movies, but in real life, he's had a tough time with his right ear. As a child, he had to undergo surgery that left his ear permanently deformed. It also caused some hearing loss, but that hasn't stopped him from becoming a huge star. Gemma Arterton. Gemma Arterton was born with 6 fingers on each hand due to a condition called polydactyly. But don't expect to see them in any of her movies. The extra fingers were removed when she was a baby. Instead of being embarrassed, she actually embraces it and talks about it openly. She even says she feels lucky to have been born a little different. Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis has 1 green eye and 1 brown eye because of a condition called heterochromia. It makes her look even more stunning, and many fans find it fascinating. She once revealed that for years she was blind in 1 eye because of an injury, but surgery later restored her vision. Now, her unique eyes are one of her most beautiful features. Andy Garcia. Andy Garcia was actually born with a tiny extra lump on his shoulder, which was the remains of a conjoined twin that never fully developed. Doctors removed it when he was a baby, and it hasn't affected him in any way. It's just one of those strange things that make people unique. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most famous women in the world, but even she hasn't escaped strange internet rumors. One of the weirdest claims? That she has an extra toe on one of her feet. This rumor started when some old photos of Oprah's feet began circulating online. In a few pictures, it looked like she might have an extra 6th toe. People immediately started zooming in, analyzing, and debating whether it was real or just a trick of the camera. But here's the thing. Oprah has never confirmed or denied it. Unlike other celebrities who have talked openly about their unique body features, Oprah has stayed quiet on this one. That makes it even more of a mystery.